Martin Payne is a second-year instructor at the Farrier School at Race. Martin, you've got a great job. You've got a lot of fancy letters after your name.
Yeah.
Tell our American viewers what that means.
It basically means I'm an AWCF, which means I'm an associate of the Worshipful Company of Farriers. I trained in England and then did a higher exam, which means I can go on to do remedial and corrective farriery work, so that I work for some of the vets and some more intricate work is required.
And what type of instructing do you do here at the Farrier School?
At the minute, we're teaching first-year students, and they get a lot of basic blacksmithing skills started first, before they move on to do the more farriery skills, which involves basic shoemaking, and then throughout their time as a student, they move on to make more remedial shoes.
You have students come from all over the world. How do you deal with the language barrier?
We have some difficulties at the start, but we manage to get over it, and it's very visual teaching as well, so we managed to get through okay.
And once the students learn the blacksmithing skills, they're then introduced to working on a horse.
Yeah.
Are most of these students from horse backgrounds?
A lot of them would be from horse backgrounds, and they have a lot of horse skills, horse management skills, and they will also learn handling skills as well on the course, so they will.
What is it like the first time they actually put a shoe on a horse?
It can be quite daunting at the start, but with good tuition and instruction, they get a lot of confidence, and we get the right selection of horses so that they're quiet, so that the kids can manage them well, and to build up their confidence with them.
What are some of the most challenging aspects of your job as an instructor?
It's hard and difficult at the start to get the young guys to understand how to work with the fire and manage the fire. We still have traditional forges here rather than the gas forges that are more common nowadays, which takes a different skill in itself. So that can be quite daunting for them. And then actually the nailing on of the shoes is the most daunting for a young student or young farrier to take on, so it is.
Do the students actually learn to make a shoe from bar stock?
They start off with straight stock, and then they move on to concave, and they make it from that, and they can make a range of shoes from pony, hunting, racehorse, and up to draft shoes as well.
And in Ireland, what is the norm for shoeing? Would it be custom handmade shoes or shoes out of a box?
I think nowadays in Ireland it is out of the box still, but with this school we have here, it is great to keep tradition and the craft going, and it lets the farriers maintain the skills that they've had for hundreds of years basically.
In the United States, we have different levels of certification that farriers go to demonstrate their level of skill and their degree of education at certain points. Do you have the same thing in Ireland?
We have this now. We have a 4-year apprenticeship, and then they do their IMFA exam, and then they become certified to shoe horses then. So they haven't got any higher exams here at the minute, but that may change in a few years' time, where they can go on to learn more remedial work and work in conjunction with the vet.
Will students stay here for a little while once they're finished?
Yeah, they stay here for 42 weeks at the minute, and 10-week start course in the forge, and then they move out to their master farrier for 3 weeks and then come back. So they're in and back and forwards, and it keeps them interested here. It doesn't keep them keeps them focused on what they're doing. At the same time, when they're out with their master farrier, they maybe learn new forge skills and start to work with the horses as well.
Will they primarily stay within the thoroughbred industry, or can they take these skills and go into any discipline?
This courses we run here allows farriers to do any sort of horse, work with draft horses, race horses, but again, as you're saying, it's primarily race horses in this area of Ireland, but they have to be able to learn to shoe hunting horses or eventers and show jumpers.
Well, would you give us a peek inside?
Yeah, certainly, no problem at all.
What all's going on in here, Martin?
Well, these are first-year students, and at the minute they're practicing a new skill with pointing square bar and drawing it down into a chisel point. These are some of the basic forging skills that they have to learn first before they move on to start making horseshoes. Some of the skills that they will develop now will be involved in making more complicated shoes later on.
Now, are these coal forges?
These are coke fires, and they're